Hello everyone and welcome back to Straight White Whale. My name's Darren Connell. How yous all doing? This is episode 27. Not bad. Welcome to the 27 club. Sorry if I'm a wee bit burst, man. I speed walked it to the venue for the flat and I'm absolutely fucked. I couldn't get my breath and I said to Paul, I was like the Hog Prince. So that's the name of this week's episode. Because Paul called last week's episode Darren's new shag pad, and all my aunties and cousins and all that are like, you big dirty bastard.
Oh, were they really?
Nah. I was like that to myself, standing in front of the mirror, you big dirty bastard. Nobody's in this flat now. Before we get into the absolute carnage of this podcast, we need to start off with the sponsors. I just want to give a shout out to Argue & Co. They've been kind enough to sponsor the podcast. That's been 3 weeks in a row now, isn't it, Paul?
Aye, mate.
I think they've got 1 week left, so thank you very much to Alan Argue. Argue & Co. is a legal firm based in Glasgow. They specialise in many things, but their two main things is employment law and personal injury. So if you've ever had a problem with that, if you currently have a problem, get in touch with them. The information will pop up on the screen and there'll be a link in the bio on Apple Podcasts and stuff. They do things like wills and all that stuff, but I'm telling you, if you need help, get in touch with them. I've said many weeks, many months that I don't get people to sponsor the podcast that I don't know. I know Alan personally, so just get in touch with him, and if he can't help you, he'll certainly point you in the right direction. Maybe that, Paul, is that all right?
Amazing, mate. Amazing. Helped one of my mates.
Aye. There you go.
Used the link. Told them, they were like, oh, I need to find a lawyer. So I talked to Alan. Just because I know the guy as well, obviously. Met him.
Awesome.
Lovely guy. Just like, he's sound. And exactly like you said, if he can't help, he'll tell you what to do. Tell you what you need to do next. So
amazing, mate. I'm very glad to hear that. So there you go. You invest in this podcast by sponsoring us and we can help you back. That's what life's all about, right?
Mm-hmm. Just make sure it's Ned related.
It's what related?
Ned related.
Aye.
Alan's pure turning them all away for the East End. Big queue outside his door.
Imagine if somebody turned up at his office like that. Can I get a halloumi gyros? He's like, this is a fucking lawyer's, mate.
They're like, where's Ange?
Here, I'm here to get my banger sucked in a halloumi gyros, half Bobby for Scott Squad. And a hair transplant. So, how have you been, Paul? Are you all good?
I'm great, mate. I'm great. Usual, busy. Went to shooting another podcast and we're doing like remote stuff.
Yeah.
So we're like doing it in a bit. And they fucking took us to Go Ape. And I'm scared of heights. So it wasn't fun.
Can I ask whose podcast?
Gary's. Gary and
good.
Kat.
Brilliant. Kat does the You're Alright.
You're Alright, and obviously Gary Folds. But it's called You Game, and it's about facing people's fears. So people are sending in their fears. It's about anxiety and stuff. I talk about their mental health, but one of the bits that we do, people submit their fears, and they need to go and do it. So 2 weeks ago, it was just talking to people in public. So we did that. Gary was a hoot, obviously, just going up to cunts, no bother at all. Kat was a wee bit like, fuck.
This is mental.
I put on the spot. Like, I don't understand why I'm so nervous. But we went to Go Ape on Saturday, and mate, honestly, mate, I've got a phobia of heights. Don't have vertigo. I don't have a medical condition, but I get dizzy. My knees go weak. So it wasn't a lot of fun for me. But I enjoyed facing my fears.
Good.
You know, I felt good after it.
Yeah.
But, mate, I was shite myself. It was like 2 hours of me just shite myself.
Aye.
So, aye.
And doing all that shit holding a camera.
Aye, absolutely. Mate,
Fuck
it was
that.
brutal. Aye,
That's like Ray Mears, but you're doing Go Ape. In fact, it's nothing like Ray Mears. Sorry.
What do you mean, Ray Mears?
No Ray Mears. What's his name?
Ray Mears not a comedian?
No, Ray Mears. Aye, Raymond Mears.
Aye, Raymond Mears, right?
Ray Mears is the mad jungle cunt.
Oh, fuck. Aye, right.
But
aye,
he doesn't do stunts. He eats food for the jungle.
Aye. But his cameramen need to do everything with him, don't they? Aye. No. Aye.
No, who's there's two guys. There's Ray Mears and then...
Who's the guy I'm thinking about? Guy that fucking does all the mental shit.
That's the boy. He's a top Boy Scout. He climbed Everest.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to quickly Google that
Aye.
because he broke his back. Everybody listening to the podcast will hate this. Head Boy Scout. I really hate putting that into my Google, man. I'm going to get my door fucking kicked in the night.
Check hard drive.
Head Boy Scout. Broken back.
Let's do it. Aye, but this guy, I'm sure there was no documentary about his cameraman. The guy was saying that he had to do all the fucking crazy shit that this cunt was doing, but he had to do it while shooting.
Aye.
Somebody with a camera, so...
Right, so Ray Mears is a British woodsman.
Right.
And he's very chunky, right? Very chubby. And I remember him because he would go into the woods and basically make a 3-course meal. And one time, I swear to God, I seen the cunt make a lemon meringue pie off a tree. Like, I swear to God, it was just stuff that he was finding out in the woods.
And he made a lemon meringue pie with it?
Aye. So he's got a bit of a gut on him.
Right.
He seems like a nice guy.
Right.
But the guy we're thinking about is Bear Grylls.
Bear Grylls, that's it. Aye. I was like Bear Grylls cameraman, except, you know, at an adventure park for kids, pretty much.
With flip-flops on.
Aye, mate. But
You
ever done it?
I have. I done it once with a come down when I was like 20.
Right. Was it Aberfoyle?
I can't remember, but...
Did it have a zip line?
Aye.
Did you do the zip line in the gully? Like,
Yep.
into the thing? Aye, mate. It was shite.
Yeah.
But I liked the zip line. What I didn't like was the fact that my size fucking 12 feet didn't fit in the wee plat. So now, like, you go to the tree and there's get the wee platform on the tree, you need to, like, hook in to go between, like, the things. My feet were hanging off the edge, mate. It was freaking me the fuck out.
Aye. I didn't like it because there was too many of my pals there. There was like 30 of us and it was just...
Carnage.
Everybody had a hangover and I'm quite weird that way. Like, I don't really fuck about. Like, if I play a game of 5-a-sides, I'm there to play football.
Right.
So, like, they're all wrestling and all that. And I'm
Right,
like,
aye. They're all fucking about. You're like, I'm here for fucking go ape. Like,
I'm here to make a 3-course meal out of a fucking tree. A lemon meringue out of a fucking plant.
I want to know how the fuck you make a lemon meringue pie.
I swear to
with
God.
no equipment in a fucking woods.
And it looked really nice. I should submit my fear to Gary Folds then.
What is your fear?
Love.
So how would he face that? Come down and suck you off.
That would be a good podcast. I feel like that's me killed it down now, man. I was overheating.
But when you come in for the
Aye.
walk,
Aye.
takes you a minute to top.
That was 10,681 steps, but who's counting?
Fucking you, clearly. Is that how long it takes you to get here for your flat?
Yep.
So if people, like, they could find out where this place is and then, like, draw, like, some sort of, like, weird map, or, like, a circle with 10,000 steps and be like, you could stay here, here, and here.
They can try and find it. I told you before the podcast, I'll shag their ass to hell.
Some people might want that, mate. Like, they might be like,
I know.
Come down like, shag marks, Bobby.
Gonna shag my arse to hell. That just sounds more horrific than it. He shagged his arse.
Shag their arse to heaven.
There was a jail. I get my arse shagged to hell. Right? I'm never going to ask you that question ever again. I smoked a stogie last night for the first time this year.
I seen the posts. I was disappointed.
Why?
It's because you're off them.
I have a treat system.
Is that a cheat meal? A cheat cigar?
A treat system.
A treat. All right, okay. What's your treat system?
When I'm well behaved and I'm a good boy, I reward myself with a treat.
Right.
Sometimes it could be a biscuit. Sometimes it could be 40 cigars.
Spread out the course of a year. I had a great January, so February, March, April and May, I'm just going to start shooting up heroin. Well,
obviously everybody knows that me and Paul are Celtic fans, so I was in the flat last night. I treated myself to Now TV. It's like a day pass you can buy. Sat on the couch and I've had a cigar lying there for fucking 5 months or something, and I thought if Celtic won the league tonight, I'm going to treat myself. and I smoked. I mean, it was a big, massive fucking Winston Churchill cigar, so I only smoked a quarter of it, but had that and a cup of tea, and I listened to some music. And oddly, I never really enjoyed it. It was a bit tough in the throat, so I had a wee bit of a sore head after it, which was surprising, considering I was literally chain smoking cigars when I first started this podcast.
I know, mate. It just shows you how quickly you go back.
Yeah.
Isn't it, man? Like, who was I talking to about this the other day? They were talking about, what were they talking about? But I noticed it with caffeine. I mean, obviously, I tell you a story, I fucking shat myself in February, but I noticed it with caffeine. I was doing like a whole, I've probably spoke about it before. I don't know what the fuck I've said in this podcast, but I did
That's the spirit.
No, but I genuinely don't remember. Like,
Yeah.
I talk so much shite, mate, but this is true. That years ago, when I was trying to figure out my mental health, I did a thing where I just basically like lived like a fucking monk for like 90 days. It was like, you know, eat clean, go to the gym, meditate, like do everything, all the good shit, non-stop for like fucking have your rest days, but for 90 days. And there was no caffeine, no gluten, minimise, obviously, because it's nearly impossible not to have any sugar, but no sugary things. You know what I mean? If you eat like if you eat a slice of, well, you can't have gluten, but if you have a slice of gluten-free bread, there's sugar in it, right? They add sugar to fucking absolutely. There's probably sugar in this fucking mineral water.
Aye.
But no sugar, no gluten, no dairy, no caffeine for 90 days, no nothing, no alcohol. Just the only liquid that I was allowed to drink was like water with a wee sort of squeeze of lemon.
Wow.
So like no fizzy, no sugar-free fizzy juice, no sweeteners, whatever. And when I finished my 90 days, I think one of the first things I did was had a coffee for Costa, and I felt like somebody had fucking injected my heart with adrenaline, mate. It was the reason I'm saying that in relation to your cigar is you realise what it's doing to you when you have it fresh, rather than when you're in the middle of chain smoking them, because you don't really feel it. You're acclimatised to it, and it fucks with you, mate.
How did you feel after that 90-day detox? Did you feel good?
Well, not to lie, I didn't feel as good as what people would tell you that you're going to feel, but I think that's true for everything.
Yeah.
The things that they make you feel good, they make you feel good a wee bit, don't they? But it's the things that aren't so good for you that make you feel good, that make, like, you know, like McDonald's or whatever, or fucking porn or whatever the fuck you're talking about, like the stuff that isn't so good for you, that makes you feel amazing for like a short period of time and then shite. Whereas the good stuff kind of just makes you feel a wee bit good, but prolonged over a period of time. So I didn't feel like elated. I hadn't like felt like I've changed my life or anything like that, but I felt good. I think I felt good that I'd managed to do it.
Yeah.
And I would do it again. 100%. But see, when I had a Domino's, it's kind of like you're saying, you don't really enjoy it because your stomach's so fucking sore. As soon as it hits your stomach, you're just in pain. So you don't really enjoy these things if you have them, like, I think you need to have them in moderation, but regularly to keep up your enjoyment, rather than going for that all or nothing, like chain smoking for 3 months, then nothing for 3 months, then chain smoking.
Yeah.
It makes you feel a wee bit shitty, doesn't it?
I experienced that when I came back from Peru. It was 2 days later, I finally kind of woke up. I had a 30-hour sleep with jet lag and stuff, and I couldn't be bothered cooking. So first thing I did was phone a takeaway, right back into bad habits.
Right.
And after a couple of bites, I was like shooting pains in my stomach and stuff.
Mate. What did you have?
I remember chips, cheese and curry sauce, and I can't remember what else I had. But after that, I was like, I felt ill. I really felt ill, man.
Just shows you, mate. I don't even think we're supposed to be eating that shit. And I love it, mate. I love curry sauce. But see, when you don't have it for even just like 30 days, like a month, and then you eat it, mate, I've woke up with a hangover feeling like I'm hungover. Bad after like a cheat meal or something, or having a big takeaway after like some healthy eating for a period of time. Oh,
food's my problem, mate. I know I'm sober and stuff, but food's my number one. I eat when I'm stressed. I've got reward systems. I eat when I'm sad. It comes to a Friday night and I just get a takeaway because it's a Friday. And I'm like, that's what you're supposed to do on a Friday. And then I wake up, I'm shattered on the Saturday, I get a takeaway on a Saturday.
Mhm.
And then Sunday I get a takeaway. And then Monday I've got this big massive fucking food hangover. And then I do that, oh, it's the Monday blues. I'll just get another takeaway. Next thing you know, you're getting 4 takeaways a week out of 7 days.
It's crazy, isn't it, mate?
So, but I tell you what, mate, I've been in that flat for 12 days now and I've not had any junk food. I've not had any bread. No crisps. No chocolate, as in like biscuits and stuff, but I've had a couple of protein bars and I feel fucking brilliant, mate.
Good.
I feel really good.
Good to hear.
And I've also reduced the old masturbation.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
I was going to ask, any visitors?
No,
Broke the place in yet?
no. Sadly not.
You need to get on that, mate.
In Pollock Park, though, I have. Call back to last week.
Broke that in.
Hi. Oh,
Was
aye.
that a fat golf link? Was that Pollock Park? any backlash? Any golfs? Pure fuck you.
Yeah, I wore black lipstick in Turnbull High School. Was that me? No, I do feel better, mate. I actually feel happier and I just feel like sharper and just like I'm walking straight. Like, it's weird what it does to you. Been back into the gut health stuff and I'm feeling good. Even though tonight I'm going for a kimchi cult. So,
Nothing wrong with that, is there?
nope.
But a kimchi. Kimchi's good for your gut health.
Kimchi's good.
Do you know what I love? And I don't know about you, mate. I love things that are pickled.
Oh, mate. Aye.
Like anything. I've never had a pickled egg.
I have.
They good?
They're kind of tasteless,
Right.
but they're edible.
Right, aye, because like the white of an egg's like water. Like what? Sure, aye, like they float, don't they? So
I mean, eating a
vinegar.
boiled egg by itself is shite, but a
No, I love
pickled
a boiled
one
egg, mate.
makes it
I
better.
love a boiled egg by itself.
Nothing else on it.
No, I would have that. Wee bit of salt.
I could do it with salt, aye. Could do it
But
with
the
salt.
best is hollandaise, mate. Hollandaise sauce, man. Do you ever get the ones at a Tesco where it's like the pre-cooked? Is it Tesco or Co-op? It's one of the ones in here. It's like a pre-cooked, half-boiled egg and a wee side of hollandaise sauce, man. You just dip it in it.
I had that the day
Fucking God.
before I came to the podcast.
Did you?
Eggs Benedict
He's in
with
there.
some black pudding and
Matt,
bacon.
Did you hear that? There, that was the saliva gathering at the back of my fucking mouth thinking about it.
I thought it was the wee goblin in my head having an orgasm.
It's amazing, mate.
Hollandaise.
Eggs Benedict's amazing.
There's a place in Southside, mate, that does eggs. I got it. It was eggs Benedict with Stornoway black pudding, but they put this side of like homemade ketchup. And when we were there, I was there with the missus. I was like, oh fuck's sake, man, can you not just have Heinz? They brought me this stuff, mate, and it, mate, fucking blew my mind.
Hit the spot.
So good, mate. I was like pure right.
Aye.
I'm into the homemade ketchup now.
Even the day when I had that, I think the waitress probably thought, is that cunt just returning for a rack or something? Because I'm like, the best fucking toast and eggs I've ever had in my life. It's just toast and egg. I'll be back here every day.
Aye, mate. But see the simple things, mate. I'll tell you, like, see for my childhood, when I think back, the best, mate, the best was a boiled egg in a cup with a bit of butter, a bit of milk, a bit of salt, and fucking a slice of bread cut into fucking fingers and just scoop it up, mate. That literally was my favourite meal when I was growing up.
The simple things in life. Before all the immigrants came.
Brung that shawarma.
Coming over here, taking your fucking eggs. Can't get an egg anywhere these days. Some cunt will probably cut that and it will end up in the Sun paper. Bobby from Scott Squad hates Polish people.
He joins EDL. Massive racist.
Aye, no kidding on. I love Polish people. I eat sauerkraut all the time. So, up yes.
Is that no German?
Is it?
I don't know, mate.
Ah, it's the same thing. I'm
Aye.
racist, isn't
Aye, fuck them.
I? How long have we done, just to check?
20 minutes, mate.
20 minutes, that's alright.
The intro.
Aye, so what has happened in the last week? I purchased a ticket with one of my sober friends because I need to keep sober friends in my life to remain sober. But
Right.
he's also my mate as well. the two years, bought a ticket to go and see Primal Scream at Queen's Park.
Right, aye.
So
Seen the posters?
yes, so I'm kind of thinking the 2 years started laughing, thinking gone to one of their gigs sober is going to be fucking wild, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Because the last time I seen them was at Tina Park and I was out my mind on fucking eckies.
What year was that? Do you remember?
So I've seen them at Tina Park a couple of times, but I remember the very first time I ever went to Tina Park was my brother took me,
Right.
and I was 14 years old,
What
right?
age are you now?
34.
Aye, so it would have been 2002. Oasis played after them.
That's the
Oasis
one.
come on right after Primal Scream. That's one of the greatest weekends of my life, mate.
Who else was there though? It was
Green Day,
Chemical Brothers.
Foo Fighters, Muse.
Yep.
Fucking The Darkness opened the main stage on the Sunday. It was
Yep.
like, I mean, people rip a piss at The Darkness, but what a fucking gig
No, they
that
were-
was, mate.
What age were you?
18.
18.
Aye.
So when I went up there, I never heard of ecstasy. I never drank alcohol, right?
Right.
And obviously I never drank because I was only 14 and my
Aye,
brother
fuck's
took me,
sake.
right? So I went up and I remember thinking, fucking like drinking Sunny Delight, thinking, yeah, man, I'm at a gig. This is awesome.
Right.
And then the Chemical Brothers came on
Mm-hmm.
and I felt, you know, that first time you take eckies,
Mm-hmm.
like it's imprinted in your brain.
Mm-hmm.
That was this moment.
Right.
Watching the Chemical Brothers
Had you-
live.
Had you took an eckie?
Nope.
No. Right.
Sober, but it was like one of those major moments in my life when I
Right,
thought
aye.
a door has been opened here. The light show was. Do you remember the
I
light
remember
show?
it, mate. They started with Hey Girl, Hey Boy,
Aye.
and the intro lasted for about fucking 20 minutes, but it just built the place up to like a pure, it just exploded when it kicked off.
The massive screens with the clowns on the screens
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. Now, imagine being a 14-year-old wee guy listening to fucking Top of the Pops, and then you see that, and then you see Oasis. But see, when you say that 20-minute build-up to that intro part,
Mhm.
see when that kicked in, and then there was like a light show that happened, it made everything slow motion. And I just remember like looking about me, and it felt like the fucking blood rave scene in Blade.
Right, aye.
People were doing cartwheels,
Mhm.
front flips, and it blew my fucking mind. And see, driving back for Tina Park with my brother, I was like, wow, man, thank you as well. Like, thank you for
Aye,
taking me to
man.
that. That was unbelievable.
Aye, man.
So I'm returning to see them, I think they're in July, Queen's Park with my sober pal, and I'm looking forward to it.
Aye, mate. If there is ever a band who you wouldn't go and see sober, I mean, I'm pretty sure, not to throw anybody under the bus, but I know for a fact that they have drugs on their rider, so
Yeah.
aye, but maybe no anymore. This is back in the day. But see that weekend, right? That you're talking about at Tina Park. So I knew a guy, Kev Carroll, and Kev played in the Complete Stone Roses.
All
He
right,
was a
okay.
guitar player in Complete Stone Roses, and he stayed in Shettleston. And see that Saturday, so like he Complete Stone Roses, I think they worked. In fact, Manny used to DJ for them. That's how there was a connection. Obviously, they were the Britain's #1 fucking Stone Roses cover band
Uh-huh.
tribute act. And fuck me, I'd seen them play at the fucking bar. In fact, I fucking seen them play a Sunday at Tina Park, and the fucking King Tut's tent was ram-packed because Stone Roses hadn't come back at that point. So this is the closest that you're going to get to seeing them live. But Manny used to DJ for them when they were doing their tours. So he knew them. And on the Friday night, they went to a house party in Shettleston, and they got so fucked up that they missed their tour bus. So their tour bus left and went to Tina Park without Bobby Gillespie and Manny.
Wow.
And they got on the fucking 62 on Shettleston Road into Buchanan Street bus station and just got on a fucking bus.
A
up to
random Tina Park
Just
bus.
one of the Tina Park buses to get up there, and arrived like 15 minutes before they were due to go on stage.
Oh my God.
So they must have, I mean, their team and everybody at Tina Park must have been shiting it. Like, you know what I mean? Are they going to fucking make it here or whatever? But aye, they were fucking taking all sorts at this fucking house party in Shettleston.
That's amazing.
And I was at Tina Park, so I wasn't there. And my big mate Matt, he would have been there. So he's like half gutted. You're at Teen the Park's like the highlight of your year when you're fucking 18-year-old, but he could have been at a house party with fucking Bobby Gillespie and Manny taking fucking swedgers and coke and
That's
all sorts
amazing.
of fucking
I'm
mental
sure
shit.
I've heard that Bobby's sober. I'm sure I have. But they're all sober now, aren't they?
You've got to imagine. I don't think very many. Well, Keith Richards, but there's not
That
very
cunt
many.
looks like a fucking goblin, but
But mate, see when you think about that, he spent a decade addicted to heroin.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even heroin. He was addicted to a combo of heroin and coke. So he would shoot up 8-ball, like fucking half coke, half heroin. He did that for a decade. I think he looks great.
considering. I mean, that's like saying I ate tar off the road every day for 10 years. I'd still say you look good.
Aye, and he's out survived how many his peers like that just
Aye.
I think so. I think some people are built for it, some people aren't, mate.
Yeah.
That cunt is fucking built for it, man.
Like Manny for the...
Primal Scream, Stone Roses.
No, the other one. The Ace of Spades. Ace of Spades.
Oh, you talk about Lemmy?
Lemmy.
Aye, Motorhead.
Fuck. I thought that was, his name was Manny as well.
No, Lemmy.
Did he know
Lemmy
stop?
Kilmister.
He was a mad speed fiend and he stopped taking speed and then he died like a month later or something.
Mate, do you want to hear the most hilarious story about him? He had diabetes. So his thing was Jack Daniels and Coke and meth. Right? I was
Wow.
like he's snorting speed and drinking Jack and Coke. But he'd crack a bottle of Jack for breakfast. You never watched the documentary on Netflix, Lemmy?
No.
Go and watch it, mate.
I'll take a note of that.
Go and watch it. It's just called Lemmy. It's not a Netflix documentary. It was made by somebody years ago, but it's on Netflix.
Uh-huh.
And it shows his lifestyle. He got diagnosed with what's the one where you cause the diabetes? Is it type 2?
Type 2.
Is it? Because of all the Coca-Cola and the
Wow.
Jack Daniels, and obviously I think bourbon's made with a lot of cane sugar, like when they're distilling it. And he went to the doctor and they were like, "You're going to need to stop drinking." And he was like, "Nah." And he started drinking vodka and fresh orange. Shifted for Jack and Coke onto vodka and fresh orange, and he was like, "Well, it's like healthier." Which is technically true, but think about the madness in somebody's head that they give up drinking a litre of Jack. That's what you drink, a litre of Jack every day, man.
That's wild.
Every day.
I've seen them live at the bars.
But Motorhead,
Yep.
fucking incredible, mate.
I'm very, very lucky because I've got brothers, right, that are all like 20, 25 years older than me. So they've all got pals and all. And they used to be all gig fiends.
Aye, mate.
So see, anytime one of my brother's mates couldn't get my brothers, they'd be like, "You want to come to this gig?" So I was like 17, 18, 19-year-old and I was going to see Motorhead, the Primal Scream, Chemical Brothers. I've seen Bob Dylan, James.
Did you see Bob Dylan at the exhibition centre?
Yep.
How shite was that?
Were you at it?
That'd have been the same night, aye, mate.
Here, mate, we've been to quite a lot of the same
I was just
gigs.
going to say to you, like, I was the exact same. My brother-in-law, my sister met my brother-in-law when at her 18th birthday, and I was 13. And then when I turned 14, he was into like fucking Metallica, Rage Against the Machine. So I would have been 14 in 97. I turned 14 in 97, and for there, I just went to gigs. Every week. I've got piles of tickets because he was like, him and his mate Alan were like mosh pit guys. Like they would go to just even the Cat House, no matter who it was, they would just go and see them. So I've seen Rob Zombie at the Garage. I've seen some fucking belters. I've seen Rage at the Barrowlands.
Amazing.
And it was just, I mean, it was just them they support. Battle of Los Angeles, I think that was 98. But the night I remember being like, I'm into this. They took me to see Slayer.
Wow.
And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be into this. It's too heavy. Listening to like Rain and Blood, like the album's called, and I was like, that's too heavy, man. I don't like it. And he was like, just come along, got me a ticket. And I was just like, from then on, I could listen to anything, no matter how heavy.
Do you know, I don't think I like heavy stuff. I like Slipknot. I don't like go out my way to listen to them, but if it comes into my, random playlist, I'll keep it on. I don't think I've ever heard Slayer. Maybe
not.
I've heard them and I don't know any of their tunes, but I can't think of anything.
We've got a song called God Hates Us All.
Oh, aye.
But it's
I agree with that.
it's funny, but it's kind of parody. There's like, you know what I mean? They've had to like come out and be like, we don't, you know, we're not trying to say anything about any religions or whatever. But they're one of the big three. It was off the big four, wasn't it? Metallica, Anthrax, Slayer, and what was fucking Dave Mustaine's band? Megadeth. They were like they were the first four thrash bands. So
Megadeth.
they created thrash metal. Anthrax, Megadeth, Metallica, and Slayer.
Anthrax, I remember them.
They had a rap song in the 90s.
Honestly.
Aye, like a rap metal song. They were the first band. Like they were one of the, I think it was like 1990. So before Rage Against the Machine came out in 91, they were the first band to be like, let's try and rap.
And was it good?
Oh, terrible, mate. Fucking terrible. But they tried it. It's like pioneers, isn't it? Like,
I randomly seen a video on TikTok the other night. It was one of Michael Jackson's brothers doing a diss track towards Michael in the 90s.
right.
And it was proper, hey man, you ain't good. Hey man, I've got wood. Like, honestly, it was fucking
What
pathetic.
one was it?
I don't,
Tito?
do you know, it wasn't even one of the, it was one of the ones, see if you said the name, you'd be like, who the fuck's that?
Right, aye. One
don't
of the
e-
Forgotten Children.
I think so. It was like, is that a stepbrother? Like,
Is it one of the ones that kept under the stair? The Talentless Children. You ever seen the mad, crazy, made-for-TV Michael Jackson biopic that came out in the 90s?
probably.
Aye, mate, it's terrible, man. It's like pure Channel 5. So like one of the like
Aye.
2 p.m. Channel 5 movies
Oh,
about his dad, like battling them and stuff like that.
mhm.
Joe Jackson.
Kicking fuck at him. I've seen the Terminator one, the made-for-TV Arnie biopic. And he's like running for governor.
No.
It was fucking awful,
Who
man.
played him?
I don't know. It was just all these unknown actors. When he was running for governor, he was having an argument with a politician. And he's like, you're like one of the bad guys. What the fuck was that? That was like Rocky.
I was going to say, that was closer to Sylvester Stallone than it was... you're one of the bad guys.
You're like one of the bad guys.
I ain't get to the chopper. The bad guy.
I've been watching Terminator. I watched the last two.
Mate, Terminator 1, what a movie. Terminator 2, even better.
Yep.
I can remember Terminator 2 coming out, so I think that's why I like that better.
Wait, when was that? 94?
Nah, 93, 94, I think it was about 10,
Aye.
something like that. But I got a pirated copy
Oh.
for the bars. Mint. It was a mint copy. It
Ah.
was fucking brilliant, man. What a movie.
It was more Lucy Goosey in number 2, wasn't
Aye, he's fucking getting high fives and all that.
Aye. Quite
I wanted,
playful.
I wanted to be Edward Furlong so badly in that movie, mate. I wanted the dirt bike. I wanted the wee device that he used to hack the ATMs. I wanted the curtains. Like that was like that. I think that was one of the first times. Know that I didn't have a crush because I'm no gay or bi, but I remember thinking I want to be like that. Do you know what I mean? Like it was the same age and just being like, oh, what man? Like I want to fucking be like that.
It's cool as fuck.
I
Have you seen him now?
can imagine, mate. I know he had his addiction problems, didn't he?
Aye.
Himself. So I can imagine what it looks like.
Aye. He looks like a Terminator's pumped him.
Well, have you seen Macaulay Culkin recently?
Recently, he's alright, isn't he?
Oh, is he?
Aye,
I
he's
thought he
cleaned up.
looked a bit
Oh.
weather hardened,
Oh.
shall we say.
He looks
But
absolutely
he's another
fine.
one, isn't he? Like Corey Haim. Like, all these guys are all fucked, man. Child stars, mate. It's no advisable, I don't think.
No. Be like me. Just when you're talking about Lemmy there, I remember, I think I was 18 or 19. I drank a full bottle of Jack, and that's the last time I ever drank it.
No,
Just drank a full litre to myself, thinking I was cool as fuck. And it was one of the most brutal hangovers of my life.
Did you chunder?
Was I sick?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't actually sick. I think that's why it was so brutal, because it never came out.
Right, aye. Didn't purge.
And I never binged it. It was like 7 p.m. and I drank it right through to like 6 in the morning.
Right.
So it was like one of the ones, but
Did you hit that sort of plateau where you couldn't get any drunker?
Aye.
Right.
I'd done something similar with Red Bull and vodka. I remember I used to drink that all the time,
Aye,
and I
mate.
woke up during the night with chest pains, and I never drank it again.
Right. Aye, heart palpitations,
Aye.
man, for the Red Bull. I used to be a vodka Red Bull cunt as well, mate.
In campus, if you couldn't get gear, you just get a double vodka and Red Bull.
I used to be, I went through it was funny, like it's like eras, like drinking eras of your life. I was talking about this the other day with somebody. They were like, my first like stack was Jack and Coke, Sambuca, and pints of Tennent's. That was like the drinks. Do you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And then I moved on to Miller Golden Draft, like bottles of Miller, vodka, fresh orange and lemonade, and Jägermeister. And then recently it's been, like water.
I used to go to Jaeger.
But vodka Red Bull was like it was Jaeger bombs that we would
Jaeger
have, so you
bombs.
would be having fucking Red Bull with that. But vodka Red Bull was my night out drink. If I'd go for a night out, I'd be like, get us a vodka Red Bull.
Vodka Red
But
Bull.
there was one night in Jumping Jacks. Remember Jumping Jacks?
Aye.
Where it
I've
was
done a gig there.
Oh, have you? Oh, fuck's sake, mate. It was vodka energy drink. And the
Aye.
energy drink was coming out the tap and it was like petrol, and the diarrhea the next day was fucking unmeasurable.
Horrific.
Aye,
Mate, I remember going in there once and they were selling bottles of champagne for £10. So,
where were they getting this champagne for?
mate, it was just black bottles that never even had a label on
Pure
it.
fizzy piss.
So all me and all my mates just got a bottle each, obviously, and just tan it for the bottle
Pure
like
balling.
a smelly bastard.
Pure balling and fucking and Jumping Jacks. There was one night in Jumping Jacks during Freshers Week. I think I must have been. I'm not blowing smoke up my arse here. I'm a young looking 40-year-old guy. I've always kind of been like this. I've always looked a wee bit. It's weird. See, when I was a teenager, I looked older. People would be like, "Oh, you look." I'd get served. And then when it was like mid-20s, maybe about 25, people would be like, "Oh, you look 21, 22. I don't know.
Mm.
Don't know. I had the perfect sort of fucking combo where I looked a wee bit older when I wanted to get served and then looked younger as I got older. But we started sort of like chatting to this group of lassies that were on Freshers Week, and I was getting this young lassie to fucking groon and batter into guys and get drinks bought for them. But when they were saying, "What drink do you want?" she was getting me like a Jack and Coke and getting herself something. And then I fucking took my phone out like a fucking arsehole and had my bird as my screensaver, and she's "Is that your girlfriend?" And then went fucking mental. Like, actually started scratching me and punching me and all. So,
Horrific.
scumbag, mate. I'm a scumbag.
Stealing drinks for people and taking advantage.
Exactly. I didn't do anything, Will.
I
Just
know,
got her
but
to go and get me drinks. Half the guys that were trying to fire into her.
I had a wee trick in the old pub. I used to drink half a pint, and then I used to walk up to the bar and do that, mate. That pint doesn't taste good. And they'd done that. No worries, I'll give you a new one.
You get
So-
a pint and a half for every pint that you bought?
Yep.
Genius, mate. Fucking genius.
And plus, I'm quite I think I'm a friendly, likeable guy. So I'd get a bit of chat with them anyway. And then I'd be like, mate, I'm so sorry to do this, but that doesn't taste good.
Aye, taking advantage of the
sorry,
fact
mate.
that they like you.
Aye.
Did that, I've done that a few times.
Like
in my life,
Talented
mate.
Mr. Ripley, proper psycho.
I've never seen that.
Oh, it's fucking
I
amazing.
was watching one of the GQ fucking things on YouTube. Now it's like Matt Damon sits and breaks down like his most important iconic roles or whatever, and one of them was Talented Mr. Ripley. Funny that you should mention that. It was literally like 2 nights ago,
That's mental.
and I was thinking like, I need to fucking watch that because it looks good. But
It's a great film,
do
mate.
you know, me and my missus were talking about this, and you're a movie buff. Why did Trey Parker and the other dude, Matt Stone for South Park, do the pure Matt Damon? Because he's no stupid. Like he wrote fucking Good Will Hunting, didn't he?
Right, so the film you're talking about is
Team America.
Team America with the puppets.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the only reason they did this. As they were making, I'll tell if you have not seen Team America, Matt Damon's in it and they take advantage of him by saying he's stupid. And the only thing he ever says in the film is, Matt Damon. And that's it. That's the joke. But when Matt and Trey were making the puppets, Matt Damon's puppet melted by mistake when they were making it.
Right.
And I think one of them suggested, why don't we just keep it like that? Because it's so silly. We'll just keep the puppet like that.
Right.
And see, because the face was melted, they were like, why don't we just do
make 'em
Matt Damon?
Yeah, Matt Damon.
So that became the joke.
Right.
But
okay.
supposedly Matt Damon loves it.
Aye, I
Like-
thought I thought they were, back then when I first watched it, I thought they were taking the piss out of him because he was an idiot.
Aye.
You know, I just assumed, I don't know anything about Matt Damon. Matt Damon must be thick and they're taking
Aye.
the piss out of him. But that, when we were watching that the other night, my missus, he came on the screen, we were watching that GQ thing, and I was pure Matt Damon. And my missus was like, and then they were doing the Goodwill Hunting bit, and my missus was like, did he write that? And I was like, hi, fucking Ben Affleck was in the room, I think, when Matt Damon wrote it, and I think that's like a joke between the two of them. But she was like, why is that Team America thing making it look like he's an idiot? And I was like, I don't know. So thank you very much.
There you
mate.
go.
You're a deep well of knowledge when it comes to useless movie facts.
Exactly. I don't know how to wipe my arse. Can he pay bills?
But you know why Matt Damon says Matt Damon
Aye,
in
in a
Team
film that
America?
get made 20 years
Do you know
ago.
that fucking Bowling for Columbine, Michael Moore
Yes.
hates that, fell out with him, because see if you watch Bowling for Columbine, there's the wee South Parky animation. It was them that did that, and they did the voices. See for the history of guns in America. Do you remember that bit in Bowling for Columbine?
I remember the film, but I don't remember that.
There's a
I
bit
don't
in the
remember
middle
the animation.
where they go over the history of firearms in America, and it was Trey Parker and Matt Stone that did it. It's in South Park style animation, and they did all the voices. So they must have been friends at one point in time,
Yeah.
but because because his character in Team America is pure, like, and he spits and he's got like food stains down the front of his tap. Fucking Michael Moore fell out with him. You're like, take a joke, man.
Take a joke, especially with South Park. I think it would be a privilege to get slagged off them.
Absolutely, mate.
Like, I would be honoured to get pounded off them.
Mhm.
I think, when I was
Sorry, mate.
well,
You just said I'd be honoured to get pounded after him.
oh, that I know.
Get to me, Trey, Daddy.
I never even realised how mental that sounded there. Aye, they're amazing. Anything they touch is gold. See, when I was growing up and I never really knew that I wanted to do comedy,
Mm-hmm.
they were the guys that I watched and loved, man. Like, and the fact that was, God, 20 odd year ago, maybe 25.
I think the first episode, the pilot for South Park, went out in like fucking 95. It's
Mhm.
like surprisingly early.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy though, mate, to think that they've been doing it for that long, and it's
Because
still amazing.
I was in primary school when it came out.
I think I was just about, maybe just in secondary school, something like that. But to think, see when you watch back, I think we've maybe said this before, I'm getting deja vu, but we've definitely spoke about our favourite episodes. But see when you watch back to that first season, you think about the controversy that it's stoked.
Yep.
It's like nothing compared to what like Family Guy went on today, American Dad, like Rick and Morty. They were the first, I think, to really do like adult. Maybe I'm talking shite there, but I think like a lot of cartoons put in wee sort of like Easter eggs for adults, like wee bits where you're like, that's clearly innuendo, and nobody's really twigged to that. But I think they were the first to really go and do like an adult comedy sort of cartoon.
They were the first.
What's your favourite cameo? Or like sort of, it's no cameo, but like some of them ripping the piss out of a celebrity.
When they were, I can't really think about ripping the piss out of celebrities, but God. What's her name? Bruce.
Jenner.
Aye.
Aye.
That episode
Aye, fucking.
with the car, the driving.
Aye.
That's pretty shocking.
They don't give a fuck,
I mean, it's
mate.
hilarious, but it's shocking.
I love Garrison Jenner. That's what it was. She was the vice president for Garrison's Trump, wasn't she? I love that. I love the Donald Trump stuff's fucking brilliant. Like they get the Garrison, Mel Gibson. You seen that episode?
Aye, amazing.
Fucking.
Do you know? I think for watching that, I think they like Mel Gibson. I honestly think they like Mel Gibson.
Aye.
Because it's never too harsh. It's no cruel. And they do say like openly the guy's an amazing director.
Aye, but I mean they've done just have done bits of Mad Max and but that episode where they go, is it The Passion of the Jew it's called? Like they go to get their money back off him and he's fucking chasing them down the road with a shotgun and all that. He's got the fucking, he answers the door in the pure William Wallace war paint and all that.
Aye.
It's fucking crazy, man. Then he shites on Cartman's face at the end, man. It's brilliant. fucking brilliant.
I love the Towley episode.
Oh mate, what
Oh,
one?
The very first time he ever came in, but the camp one when he was away camping. But see, the oddness of it is just.
Do you know they did that as a joke? They were like, we could do anything. And they were like, what could we do that's so like stupid? No, like a towel. Like a drug addict towel. Because in the first episode it appears they were pretending to sell merch. Like Towley.com and all that, and it was like a towel. But that episode at the camp, mate, there's a bit in that episode where he's buzzing gas in the motor and the woman's like looks in, he's pure, it's not illegal, bitch. He's like sitting buzzing gas, his face is all warped. Aye, fucking A Million Little Fibres.
Aye.
The biopic.
See,
He's got the mustache on fucking Oprah.
The episode when he's trying to break in and he's playing Funky Town on the fucking beeper.
It's Funky Town. Just need to get a little high.
Oh my god.
Oh mate.
Amazing.
That's, I mean, the later episodes where he comes back to be the weed tester as well, man. That's fucking.
Remember the time Trey Parker, that's a good impression by the way, Trey Parker.
That's why I did it, mate, to show off.
To be boastful. Remember they went to the Oscars and took acid?
Mate, mushrooms or something. I took a hallucinogenic and dressed up as hippies.
Yep.
Pure,
no, they were in dresses.
Dressed up as women. Fucking fawn about the place, pure tripping out on that.
Aye.
How big do your balls need to be to go to your first ever, like, Academy Award? It's not even just going to the Academy Awards, right? Because I think I could deal with that. Like, fuck them, like all the rest of the people that's in the room. If anybody was to be like, it would be trying to deal with all the flashing lights and the red carpet. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. But
imagine the trip though to turn up in a dress. Like your brain must be just overloaded. But see the amount of people that they've gave a chance to. Like there's an amazing show called Wonder Chosen that used to be on MTV.
Right.
This really cult hit animated show.
Right.
And it was like cult status. Like people loved it.
Right.
And a lot of those guys came to South Park and did voices.
Right.
And it's really, really funny, man. Like very similar to South Park. You can see that they've been
inspired
by it.
Have you seen 7 Days to Print or whatever? Or it's like about their process.
Yes, I have.
The Bill Mayer or Bill Meyer, and shows you them in the writing room and they're just sitting there until they come up with something.
Mental on
Mate, it's pure creativity, mate.
Yeah.
Like somebody was talking to me about the Beatles documentary, Get Back, and they were like, have you ever seen it? And there's a bit in that, I don't know if you've seen it, it's on Disney Plus.
No.
There's a bit in that, mate, and see, as a musician, I get giddy. Like, my missus was like, you need to calm down. I was like, I can't. Like, that you've just witnessed what people are always like, oh, there's a bit in that where Paul McCartney's just sitting with his bass and they're literally like, we need to write another song. We've got like, they'll short a song and he just sits and he's just hitting a note and then a song just appears. And it's one of the best songs I've ever written. So
what is it?
Get Back.
No
so
way.
actually like Get Back. So he's just sitting, just humming the tune, and I was like, I can hear him coming up with that. And I started pure giggling and was like, I can't believe that's on film. Like,
do you know that's weird? You're the second person to tell me about that today. That show.
About Get Back?
Yep.
Oh, really? It's incredible, mate. It's so good.
I'm not exactly a Beatles fan, but if there's two people telling me about it, I'm going to watch it.
You see a creative process, you actually see them struggle with it, which is good. I think it's amazing, because when I was growing up and I was trying to write music and all that, it was all this pish about, like it's magical, but actually you see the world's greatest sort of, or among the world's greatest songwriters sitting in a room and grinding it out. But my mate at the time when we were sitting watching it, you can watch it on YouTube, you can watch the clip on YouTube, him sitting coming up with the song, and you hear it come out of him, you're like, I can't believe I just witnessed that.
You can see his brain spinning.
He's just, mate, it's incredible to watch. But a couple of days after it, I was showing my mate, and he was like, I've never seen anything like that in my life. And I was like, I have. See, if you watch the fucking South Park documentary, you see them come up with stuff, and it's like that. He just does a voice. He's sitting there just doing Cartman's voice, and they're just throwing lines about, and then they're fucking howling. Like, they're actually double there with laughter, like trying to write on the whiteboard these lines that they're coming up with, and it's pure creativity, mate. It shows you how it's done. Like, these guys don't sit down for an hour a day and, you know, and blah, blah, blah. They go into a room for a week and they grind it out, mate. And see if they don't come up with it, it's a shite episode.
Mm-hmm.
But if 9 times out of 10, they're hitting in pure genius.
Yeah.
And the reason they do that is because they can't be fucked doing it anymore. They don't want to do it anymore. So the only way that they can do it is like that. Like, get in a room, right, let's just fucking grind this shit out. Because if they sit down to try and write it as like a piece, they don't come up with it, and they're just so sick of it, so bored of it.
So if they say, let's do one episode that will take us a week, they've got 3 weeks off to spend with their family and to chill. So they're like, well, we've only got 7 days of this hardcore process that we need to go through, and then we can relax.
But then they need to get time to go to the animators and all that. It's mental.
Aye.
I think at one point in time they were doing that. They were 5 days, 2 days off, 5 days in the writing room, 2 days off. But they've got some of it. I mean, Bill Myers, hilarious, mate.
He's a genius, man.
Aye, so he's there writing with them, and
He's a genius.
even he's like, they're geniuses.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm just happy to be in this room. Sarah Silverman goes in and writes with them, and
Aye.
so it's big names, and all of them are like, we're in the presence of like comedy genius when you're in the presence
Comedy
of it.
gods, man.
Have you seen a lesser known piece of work, Orgasmo?
Yes.
How fucking funny. Chodder Boy, and
Incredible.
What a movie that is, man.
They've got some unbelievable classics they're cult classics, but I feel like they don't get, I mean, obviously they get respect, but I feel like if they did a serious film, they could win an Oscar. That's how talented they are. You know what else I think they would be good at? See if they made a horror. I think they would be good at a horror.
I think they'd be good at it, mate.
Aye. So Orgasmo is one of the best ones I've seen. What is it? Basketball.
Oh, Basketball's what a movie that is,
Aye.
man. What a movie. I mean, who comes up with that shit?
It's like Kirby.
Aye, that's exactly what he's just coming up with this game. Hilarious. The bit in that where he's pure licking the dildo. Thinks that the bad bird Brittany, they're like, they go to like their high school reunion and they're in her room and he's pure licking the dildo, and she's pure, what you doing in my mom's room? And he's pure.
Did you remember God, man, one of the scenes that have always imprinted in my brain that I thought you can do anything with comedy. See when they have a kiss scene together, Trey and Matt kiss each other. Do you remember it?
What's that in? Basketball?
Basketball.
Is it? Aye, I do remember it.
For me, it was so funny because I think it was Matt, not fact. Aye, it was Matt.
Matt Stone's the one with the curly hair.
Aye. So Trey get into it, like proper full blown gone for it, man, like getting half of him. And Matt was like visibly fucking, you could see that he was uncomfortable.
Aye.
But that's why I found it funny, because if that's the take, then what's the rest of the takes like, if that's the take that they went with? So I thought that's quite funny.
The bit where they take the wee boy out, they get steaming.
Aye.
He's getting a liver transplant. They're hitting the fucking tequila slammers now.
Aye. Also a Mel
gonna get away
Gibson
with that.
reference in that film.
Is there?
Aye.
What is it?
I love you. Always will.
Oh, that's right. Aye, they sit in the day lines backwards and forwards with each other. Aye, mate, they're geniuses. They're up there with fucking the guy that did The Simpsons. Was it Matt Grueling?
Yes.
Is that how you say his name?
So we can go to a podcast awards one night or a comedy awards and we can get full acid.
I'd do it, mate. Let's go to the Scottish BAFTAs. If you ever get invited to the Scottish BAFTA or any comedy, like Scottish Comedian of the Year, we'll take mushrooms and
Aye.
we'll go.
Have I told my acid story?
I don't think so.
Quickly, I'll check how long have we done.
55 minutes
55. I think we can wrap it up with this story.
with a story, right?
And then I'll give a shout out to the sponsors.
Right,
But
let's do
I've
it.
only ever took acid one time, right?
Right.
Have you took it?
Mate, aye.
I mean, if you could see what I see, that's a silly question.
Aye, I look like Forrest Gump. No, but I have taken acid a few times in my life. Aye.
I must say, you're looking very nice today.
Thank you very much.
You always
mate.
look nice, but you look,
Particularly nice
Yeah.
today, though.
Yep. Quite awkward there, isn't it? I'm sorry.
Can't wait for our kiss scene after we're done.
I have spiked your water with acid. So, I have took it one time, right? All my pals were going to Mexico and I decided to pull it the last minute because I don't know why. I was just anxious and I was feeling really anxious about going on a big holiday like that.
Mm-hmm.
such a young age. So when I pulled out, I kept a lot of money and stuff, and I decided to fucking blow it. And my mate had a wee council house up in Auchinlearn, and he said, "Why don't you come up to mine? We're all having a party." So he was one of my pals for school, very, very good mate. His name's John. Him and his girlfriend were there, and there was a couple of people that I wasn't really pally with, but you know, you're all getting mad with it in a fucking flat. Nobody gives a fuck. So we went there. Powder was getting passed around, Eckies, all that type of stuff. And then the people that I didn't really know left. And then, I mean, obviously my memory's a wee bit clouded, right? But a guy came in. I don't know what he was dropping off, but he had acid as well. I think he might have been dropping off Eckies. And he's like, "Oh, I've got acid, if you want
Do you
acid."
have a wee backpack? A wee bum bag of drugs?
Aye, basically,
yeah.
aye. And he's like, "I've got this I think it was called Sunshine." He's like, "I've got this Sunshine
Acid?
Yep.
Fuck me, man. Wow.
Is that the most popular one?
Well, no, Sunshine Acid's like a legendary like acid. He mentions it in Feeling Loving in Las Vegas.
Really?
It's about he's like, let's just take out half of this Sunshine Acid. And it's super strong, mate.
Right, so for the benefit of the doubt, I think I remember he said Sunshine. Maybe my memory's fucked because I've seen that film, but I'm 100% sure.
No, mate, it would be like it's a type of acid that's super popular, like
Right.
one of the ones like
So we were taking Eckies, pills, and we were out or not, and John was there with his girlfriend, and this guy's like, "I've got this Sunshine Acid," and me and John just fucking locked eyes. John never took it, his girlfriend's never took it, and he's like, "You up for it?" And I was like, "Mate, I don't know, man, I've never took it
you'd
before."
already
I'm
been taking
fucking-
Eckies.
Aye,
For fuck's sake.
out my bin, mate.
Right,
Bevy
okay.
as well, by the
Wow.
way.
Oh,
Booze.
for fuck's sake, no,
Booze,
man. Wow.
Eckies, Coke. And he's like, nobody's going to come into this house, so why don't we just take it? I was like, do you know what? Fuck it. All right. I was a wee bit depressed because I pulled out the holiday and all that. So we all took acid together. And I swear to God, mate, like maybe 2 or 3 years passed. And we were like, that acid's no kicked in yet. That's fucking pish.
Right.
And we were like, do you think that cunt's bumped us? And John was like, "No, he wouldn't bump us, man. I've known him for years and he was up dropping our things." And I kind of knew the guy's face and all. And I was like, couldn't he have bumped us, man?
Mm-hmm.
And literally, as soon as we were like, "This is shite," John done that to me. That fucking song's been on for ages on the radio.
Right.
It was like a CD. And then I was like, "Aye, how long's that fucking song been playing for?" And then his bud was like, "That's been the same song for like fucking 80 minutes. And then we were all like, "How can you play a song for 80 minutes? And then it frees just like uncontrollable laughter, right?
Right.
Just uncontrollable, like fits of laughter.
Uh-huh.
I hit the deck like it was almost like demonic, like like,
Right.
and we were just crying with laughter. We were like, "Oh my God, this is fucking kicked in." So swear to God, this is the chain of events that happened, right? John's girlfriend jumped up, ran towards the kitchen, opened this big massive kitchen window, the size of that fucking wall, right? A massive window. She opened it up, pitch black at night. She's standing on the sill in the kitchen, pointing into darkness, like just screaming like that. As loud as she can, like at the top of her voice. Me and John are curled up in the fucking in the carpet, like that. What you doing? What you doing? And she's like, "There's a fucking crocodile. There's a crocodile there in that cunt's garden." Right?
Right.
She jumps off the windowsill. We think she's going to jump out the fucking window. She jumps off the windowsill, runs down the stair. We're on the carpet, still curled up. She comes back in, right? And she's got a fucking inflatable crocodile, mate, that she's
Right.
seen in somebody's garden that's been in a fucking paddling pool, right?
For fuck's sake.
So she's put this crocodile in the corner of the room, and we're in this corner of the room, and we're all screaming. we're all like that. It's fucking moving. It's moving. Because we were all out our nut and it felt like the crocodile was like
Aye.
zigzagging.
Aye, everything goes all wavy.
Aye, so we were like, no way, man. 5 minutes past, somebody was chapping the door. It must have been the neighbours or the police. When that happened, we were like, lights off. We're lying on the
for
carpet,
fuck's sake.
shiting ourselves, right? Now, such a random chain of... I remember thinking, how long's this going to last? Because it got to a point that, fuck it, man, it's my podcast. I remember cutting a line of coke. I feel ashamed in saying this. Sorry, ma, if you're watching this. There's a line of coke lying on the table, and it's just zigzagging across the table, and it's changing colours, pink, green, and red.
Right.
And I'm like, wow, man, how am I going to take that line of coke? It's dancing over the table. And now you know why I'm sober. But then it got to a point that it gets scary, because when you take an AK, it only lasts like 2-3 years. You take acid, it's game over.
Aye, if it's a strong acid, mate, you could be there for fucking... The stronger it is, the longer, like, the trip, you know what I mean?
You're talking 24 hours, easy. I remember getting to a point, I done that to my mate. I need to go and lie down. This is mental. I went into his bedroom and I lay in his bed, and I can understand why people think they can fly. I would never do it, but I get it.
Right.
So I'm lying in the bed thinking that people are talking about me. I can hear all these voices, like whispers. He's
I've
in
had
there,
that
he's
happen
fucked.
before.
He's fucked. Don't go in and see him. And I'm like, oh no, man. My pal comes in and his eyes are like lizard eyes. And I'm like, mate, don't even look at me. So I get up, I spew, the most horrific fucking spew ever.
Right.
Like acidic orange juice.
Just pure bile.
Aye. And then I'm standing in the toilet, right? And I swear to God, this is real, 100% real. I tried to actually talk about it in my stand-up set, but nobody really laughed. They were just like, you're a junkie bastard. Standing in the toilet, right? See, trying to do a piss when you're out your tits on acid, your wee tiny fucking cock is about that size, right? Like nothing. And that's before I took the acid. Hey, come on. So I'm trying to do this piss. And I look up at the window, the toilet window, and it's opened a wee bit. And I swear to my mother's life, right, there's hundreds of wasps on this window.
Right.
And there's a couple that go in. And I'm standing there thinking, how fucking strong is this acid? This is fucking mental. And then I'm like, these wasps are flying about the toilet. Bang, off my face, off my cheek, off my neck. And I'm like, that they feel like wasps.
Mm-hmm.
And then it turned to, it was fucking wasps.
Oh, was it?
It was an actual wasp hive, mate.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So I go in.
This acid's fucking mental, man. Getting stung fuck out of you.
I go into the living room and I shut the door and I'm like, John, please don't slag me or mock me. I feel like I'm tripping at my tits, but I think there's a wasp hive in your toilet, mate. And he was like, Dan, you're just at your nut. And I'm like, no, I swear to God, mate, please go in and check. So he goes in the toilet and he runs back out and he's like, I'm tripping at my nut. I know there's fucking wasps in there. So see, when he kind of sobered up a wee bit, he ended up putting a worky boiler set on, going and cult the wasps. God knows how many fucking hours passed, right? But see, when I kind of woke up the next day and I sobered up a wee bit, I looked in the mirror, right? And my face was like that. My left eye was closed shut.
Right, aye.
And the stingers were still hanging out my head.
Oh, were they?
Yep. I get stung. I think I get stung 4 times.
For fuck's sake.
So my pal's bird pulled the stingers at my head. I walked home, right? Walk into my dad's house. For some reason, my oldest brother's there. He's at his fucking nut and all. And I'm like, mate, I took acid for the first time and I get stung with wasps. Can you help me? And he's like, I'm at my nut and all. Pulled out a bottle of vinegar for the cupboard and decided to wash off my head with fucking vinegar because I get stung with wasps. Went into my room and I just remember laughing, sitting watching cartoons and fucking howling like child cartoons.
No
thinking,
way.
It's really good,
Fuck's
actually.
sake, man.
They've wrote that
That's
brilliant.
a mental acid story.
I got for the first time in my life. I went out that night again and got a cure because I'm like my head's still fucking mangled. So it got to like Monday and I was like, what the fuck happened? What happened there?
That's mental, mate. Did you ever had any flashbacks? Any acid flashbacks?
No sense.
I have hallucinogenic flashbacks. Sometimes I'll just be stunning and then everything will just go wee wavy. What? Just shake it off.
That's mental, isn't it?
Aye, man.
So that's my acid story.
That's brilliant, mate.
My first and last time. And it's so good that I'm still pals with John.
Mhm.
We'll still see each other and we'll be
aye.
like, remember that night?
Remember that night taking acid? Did you take it again?
I don't know if he's took it again.
Would you?
Would I? Nah,
No?
I don't think so. I honestly see when it got
How
to
much did you take?
a full fucking...
What, a sheet?
Aye.
See, mate. Fuck's sake, man.
He just put it in my horn and I done that.
And what size was it?
It was like it was like a tiny stamp. Tiny,
Right, so
tiny
you've
stamp.
took you've took one hit. You've took like a hit, but it must have been strong acid,
Oh.
mate. And sunshine acid is like supposed to be super strong. Never had it myself. I've had blotter, which is just made in a bath. That's like they just put the wee drop on the bit of paper, and I've took a fair amount of mushrooms. But acid's dirty, mate. It's a dirty high. You feel dirty when you take it. See, when you start coming up, you feel all that groggy vibe. See, the same way when you take coke, you get that sort of horrible feeling that you can't really shake off.
You
Feels
can't
like
get
that.
away from it. I know
Aye.
comedians, I mean, they're not that funny. I know comedians that are proper brain dead through acid
On a
abuse.
permo.
Yep.
You take
Honestly.
too much of that shit, mate. You don't come back.
Like brain damaged.
Aye, man. Like fucking
I
Sid
won't
Barrett.
name the guy, right? But the guy's been doing stand up for years and he's never get paid. And I remember him saying once, I mean, I started the same time as Kevin Bridges. How the fuck has he got a DVD? As he's like, his cock's hanging out.
He's got a snorter hanging out his nose, man.
Aye.
Because you're on a permo, mate. Like,
And then he goes up and he's horrific. I won't
aye,
name him though.
fuck's sake.
So I think we've done over an hour, mate.
Aye, mate. Well over.
Is there anything you would like to say?
No.
Anything you'd like to
enjoyed
cover?
your acid story.
Thank you.
Let's hit up the sponsor.
Yes,
Suck
it's
the
just because
corporate cock before we go.
it's just because you were talking about Trey and Matt doing acid. I thought I would
Brilliant. Loved it, mate.
tell that story. So thank you very much, everybody, for joining us again. The feedback has been unbelievable. Random messages for people that I don't know constantly getting in touch. I just want to say it really means a lot to me and Paul. Sometimes we're like, oh, is this working and stuff? We don't know if it's working, but honest to God, the feedback is unbelievable. So if you've been listening to the podcast and you've not liked and reviewed it, can you please chuck us a like and a review? It would mean a lot. Even doing things like retweeting and sharing on Facebook, or if you're in a WhatsApp group with your pals, just get it shared because you're keeping us alive. Especially during these tough times, it means the world to me. Remember that video?
No.
The cunt on a permo. He runs through the London Marathon.
No.
He's full of eckies and he's kidding on his part of the marathon, and somebody passes him water, and he's like, "Thank you very much. It means the world to me." It's just a random viral. I'm having an acid flashback now. Episode 27. Right, before we go, I just want to thank Arguing Co.
If you get arrested for taking acid.
Aye, if you're on a permo, get in touch with them. No, it really is very, very kind that they've been kind enough to sponsor the podcast. And like I said, you'll see their information pop up on the screen. Also, tickets for my tour are selling very well. So I would say if you're wanting to come and see me, get tickets now, because I won't be adding extra dates. As far as I'm aware, I won't be adding extra dates. So if you're going to come to Glasgow at the Oran Moor on the 1st of October, I would say get your tickets just now. I'm at Eastco Bride. The very first one is Greenock on Friday the 17th of November, June, having a stroke. So if you've never seen me do stand-up, come and see me, support me, and all that shit. So, aye, that's the end of the
The podcast.
podcast. Episode 28 next week.
Can't wait, mate.
Would it be all right if I just lived in here for a week
Aye,
until the
mate.
next one?
Just stay here like a wee podcast goblin.
Aye. The Hog Prince. That's the name of this episode. See you next week.